Garth Riley, and where we left off was how. And I want to ask you, why? Why would someone engage you in your services? Why would they come to see you? And for what reasons? And I know there's a variety of people who knock at that door to have the expertise of your creativity. And I just want to say that that creativity is very valuable. There's a lot of insight that goes into it. There's a lot of depth. And there's a lot of humor and a lot of joy in that inspiration and illumination that comes forth from those insights into humanity, into businesses, into people, into our youth, a broad spectrum from my view. Why would someone come to knock at your door? And what would they be looking for?
They come to well, I don't know why they would come. I know what they would experience when they get here, though. So maybe they know that that experience is here, and they're coming to get that experience.
Well, can I answer the question of why?
Okay, go ahead, because I'm struggling, obviously.
I know.
Yeah, okay, why?
First time. Okay, you've got some ships at sea. Their lives are in fog. They're a little bit lost. And they're looking to find the shore. They're looking for themselves. And they see a bright light, and it's shining very brightly. And they're heading towards that light. They think they're going to find themselves. Actually, they're going towards the light to find the shore. And what you do is you help them to find the light inside of them so that they can help the next person who's lost and looking for the shoreline of themselves.
Okay.
So that's the why, as far as I can see, is you are a bright light and you shine brightly. And when you dim down that light, you're going to get a phone call from Karina.
I've had several in the last 6 months. I think I'm on your speed dial. I don't know why that is, why I was turning it down, or am I being called to keep it bright? I mean, for a long time I was ditching it. Even though I thought I was doing something, in television. But I think we're in a really interesting time right now.
We are.
Because people are, there's a quickening, I find. And it doesn't come without any personal pain, though, I'll tell you.
Well,
I have it personally.
Have you ever seen a child grow?
Yeah.
Like, you know, from like 6-7 inches in 1 year. It's called growing pains.
Yeah.
It's very, very challenging to go through growth.
Yep.
To expand beyond the parameters of our own belief systems. And I've seen you grow hugely this year. A lot of personal sacrifices involved, but you know what? In the end, it's been amazing to watch your transformation, to watch your growth. And getting back to the first question I asked you about the being who knocks at your door, okay? I gave you the little scenario about the lost ship finding its way to the shore. And you're not going to teach them how to become themselves. You're only going to shine brightly so that they can find their own light.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's what people have told me after they've left. I mean,
like, okay, look, you've got the business. So someone comes, they're looking for ideas about their business, how to fix it, how to make it better, how to, let's brighten the shop. And you go in and you go, okay, do we really need to do this? And then, ta-da, what happens?
I spend some time helping them look at their mirror. I go, I remember this travel agent, for example, 25 years in the industry. I said, why would you throw all that away to try something else? I mean, do you realize how much artistry you have there? It wasn't until actually we had a discussion a couple weeks ago. I kept saying about bringing out people's genius, but I realized that most people were very uncomfortable with that word. because they've never really acknowledged about geniuses they've been around. And I've been around people that I go, whoa, like they're amazing, and I can recognize their genius because they're a little weird, eccentric. But so I said to people that, I help you recognize your genius, and most people say, I have no genius inside of me. I'm normal. It goes back to those numbers that I was telling earlier on, that the 5% and 40 and 95%. Right. Okay. But when I sit across from somebody and they've chosen a life path, and I show them, and I sort of take what they've said, and I go, well, so you do this, right? And they're like, yeah. I said, if someone shows up and they have this need, you could solve it, right? And they say, right. And I said, I kind of do it that way. And I said, so really, it's pretty amazing what you've learned to do in your life experience. That wrapped into character. And what's interesting for me now is I don't really meet people that have done all this. They've done all the sales trainings. They've gone to all the seminars. Most of them, they've gone to the rah-rah meetings, and all of them are ditching that and saying, I just want to be recognized for being this real person that's here, because in essence, that's who they would do business with. But they're programmed in a belief system of behaviors that are archetypes that have been laid out before them.
Right. So
I kind of tell them to kick those in the pants. And I say, kick that to the curb because it doesn't work. Can I give you an interesting scenario?
Okay.
A guy named Lyle Laver. One day, maybe he'll see this video. He worked for me in my karaoke business, and then he worked at the Keg Mansion. He also hosted a radio show on CIUT during University of Toronto Radio, and he had this show called Calling All Kids. I always wanted to do radio. I thought it would be great. So he invited me to come out and do radio with him, even though I had my entertainment company. So we're sitting upstairs, and we're talking, and anyways, okay, we're going to air. And he says, well, now he goes, and now it's so-and-so after the hour, and that was Jack Grunsky and whatever he was doing, and over to you, Garth. And all of a sudden, I started to go, well, hello, Lyle. And anyways, we went back to break. He goes, who is that? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, who is that? He says, that wasn't Garth. and I mean, what do you mean? He goes, okay, Garth, everybody has a set in their mind as to what that radio guy was supposed to sound like, and you had yours. He goes, but that's not why I brought you in. I want to talk to Garth. And I went, wham, and that was big. And I think that was a lesson that Lyle gave me. And then I took a decade of doing entertainment in bars and nightclubs and corporate gigs, and then television, some 23 years later, always using that. Just being real, just being exactly who you are. So I tell people, find that reality. You've been sold this corporate bill. You've been sold this, I have to behave this way. That's why politicians don't want to talk to me. Well, they probably want to talk to me this year. but they won't want to, because social media changes the accessibility of this. So that garbage that they keep, that's why we have low voter turnout. Nobody believes anybody anymore. Today, this is the leveling ground. I'm watching people scramble. I think it's hilarious. We need to understand who the core values of these people are. And you know what? Give them permission to be who they are.
So core values.
Yes. Permission
of who they are.
And to be who they are.
Being authentically who they are. Okay, listening to themselves rather than the programs that they've been sold.
Why do I feel a sucker punch coming?
No, okay, I'm repeating back. It means I'm listening.
Okay, yes, okay, yeah, okay. That's fine.
So we've got the ear, we're listening.
Yes.
Okay, so my view is that you get them to the shore. Okay, they've been in the fog. We're using the same metaphor here. Get them to the shore.
Yeah.
Realize the ship that they're on. Okay, the crew, that they are the captain of the ship.
Maybe some of the crew they got aren't.
Kick off some of the crew and kick off all the other captains who are trying to take over their ship.
Right.
Discover their value and worth of the ship. Fix it up a little bit. It's got some holes here. It's got some holes there. Put in some new cargo. And off you go.
Right.
At the wild blue yonder.
That's what I do.
Okay.
That's what happens when they're with me.
And we've gone off into the wild blue yonder because we have to take a break.